Hi, Sag. How are you? This is Mary Ellen. I'm coming to you from Moonrise Cottage for your April 2019 Soul Tarot, or pardon me, Soulmate reading. I'm still suffering the effects of this long-lasting Mercury retrograde, so forgive me. I'm probably going to make some more slips of the tongue. So, Sag, I've got the camera focused like I do because I want you to see up close and personal something extremely mystical happening in the realm of love and soulmate. And my guides talk often about heart chakra awakenings and awakening partners. The common, my guides are saying the common lexicon is the word twin flame. My guides have a much wider viewpoint of that. So something spectacular is unfolding for those of you that are having this experience through a love relationship or somebody who walks into your life in a very shamanically ordered way. I always forget to say this. Please do me a service. Thank me for my service to you and click the like button. It's very helpful to me. I truly appreciate it. Any information you need about contacting me, the link is below the video in the information box. So I want to jump right in. Raven from the Animal Medicine deck is number 16. And I'm going to read to you from the book for each of these things briefly, just to give you the nugget. And then we're going to start rolling out some more cards. So these cards that you see, I always clear the deck. They came literally flipping right out, right, just like that. I mean, I moved them a little bit, but right onto the table. So Raven throughout time has carried the medicine of magic. This has been true in many cultures across the planet. It is sacred in the medicine ways to honor Raven as the bringer of magic. If the magic is bad magic, the carrier may be honored out of fear rather than out of respect. Those who fear Raven may do so because they've been dabbling in areas which they have no knowledge, and maybe a spell has backfired on them. Rather than analyzing the dark side of sorcery, realize that you will fear Raven only if you need to learn about your inner fears or your self-created demons. Raven magic is a powerful medicine that can give you the courage to enter the darkness of the void, which is the home of all that is not yet in form. The void is called the Great Mystery. It existed before all other things came into being. Great Spirit lives inside the void and emerged from the Great Mystery, and Raven is the messenger of the void. If Raven appears in your spread, you are about to experience a change in consciousness. I'm going to leave it at that from the book because these readings always go on. If you want more information, you can always go online and just, type in the search bar Raven Medicine and you'll get lots of information. But for you, clearly some mystical process is at hand. Many of you are experiencing this from your soulmate or a heart chakra awakener. And if you are having difficulties, if something is awry because of this connection, my guides are saying they want to give you some information about what that really means. And it is always about transformation and what is meant for your path. So no matter what is happening, whether it's positive or negative, you are having a mystical journey into the void for an awakening. So the next card, also, in connection with Raven, look at the three cards, right? We've got Raven, we've got the Mystical Shaman, and then a feather, and the card is called Fallen. So the Mystical Shaman, and that is number 38, looks like. Same thing. I'm just going to crack open the book and give you the nuggets. The symbol of the myth maker and the storyteller who is neither made of nor defined by the story is what is spoken to in this symbol. Instead of defining the story, the myth maker observes it, evolves through it, and perceives all aspects of it. In so doing, the mystical shaman represents the ability to dream a new story, a new myth into being. He dances between the worlds, wearing the cloak of the world loosely around his shoulders, and he sings the world into being. He reminds us to be in the world and travel through it, but not to be defined by it or become too attached to the experience. This is a symbol of true alchemy, for all elements of life have a spiritual aspect and a material one. And when we remember this, all manner of miracles and manifestations are possible. When the mystical shaman appears, you are invited to consider the ability to live without attachment. You are called to create and dream your life, to act on inspiration and divine impulse without fixating on a known story of success or achievement. Interesting. And it goes on to talk about, can you be the impartial observer and in order to bring forward the magic that is meant to come through the experiences you are having. So, the feather, it's number 14 from the Journey of Love Oracle. The title of the card is actually Falling. Don't worry, you may fear that you are falling, but it is just your soul diving deeper into the ocean of bliss. Are you sensing part of your life flying away, out of your control, as the momentum of your divine surrender takes over, and because more powerful than old adhesive between you and what no longer serves you arrives? It's time to laugh, cry, celebrate, and ponder. Whether it makes sense or not, you are like a perfectly ripe fruit falling from the universal tree, succulent and ready to be enjoyed for all that you are. It's so clearly a very mystical unfolding is happening. And my guides are talking about this from a very wide perspective. So I'm going to move the camera back and we'll jump into the Rider Waite section of the reading. Hang on, I got to switch my software a little bit so I can see, make sure the cards are visible. All right, so my guys are chattering and chattering, and they are speaking, they're saying, to a wide cross-section of the Sagittarius nation. So, although this is a soulmate reading, we're actually talking about you, Sag. We're talking about both you and your soulmate. And they are continuing to impress the words and the notions of heart chakra awakener. Some of you are going to come into a mystical love experience, truly mystical, and some of you are going to meet a heart chakra awakener that may not be a love partner. Yeah, because you know what? That just came out. Interesting. So let's dive in here. Something beautiful is unfolding. The Hierophant. That's the crow and raven medicine. It is about the void. It's about messages from the universe and from the Great Spirit in order to bring forward something very sacred, hidden knowledge. The High Priest. So male energy, in a sense, and then the Mystical Shaman, Three of Wands. Knowing where you are standing, being able to appreciate the moment, and knowing that something is unfolding. There's a lot of light. It's interesting because we see sort of all these notions of the void, and yet you are standing in the light with your soulmate, whoever this person may be. So, some of you may be going for a shamanic retreat. You might be having a shamanic experience. The person who's in your life, Sag, is performing the actions of a shaman. And I think they're probably really causing you to have some awakening or some very deep introspection. They may be requiring you to join them on that journey. They might be prodding you to look at some things that you don't want to look at. And you stand under the light of all these things. Looking into the Hierophant, isn't that fascinating? You're looking straight into it. I think your soulmate is looking into you in a very sacred way, and they see you in a mystical way. They see your soul journey on some level, and they see what the journey with you is about, and they're causing a mystical transformation. It's a very powerful mystical being. soulmate connection, heart chakra awakening. Very powerful. And the reason my guides are talking about it might not be a lover, because we're seeing all through the cards, in a sense, a continuation or the unfolding or the revealing of hidden sacred matters. And the way your soulmate stands creating movement and new growth, looking into these things that I was just talking about, the sacredness of the moment. Whoever this is, my guides are saying, God help you, because you can run away from it if you want, but it's going to follow you if you don't. And it's really interesting, aligned with the card falling, the Four of Cups. Also, I was just talking about this yesterday. It's not about you don't want what's being offered. Some of you may be experiencing this because this is kind of in a way about shock and awe. It's intense. I'm here to tell you I've been through these experiences. I know. I get it. So I'm there with you while you go through this. But it brings you to a very deep place of introspection about what is meant to come forward. There's the next card. And that's why you sit and pause. And, the notion of the Four of Cups as not being available to love, it's a very surface interpretation. You're involved in a very deep process. And you cannot be present while you're involved in a process with yourself. You deserve to take some time to sit and ponder and think and go within to find the inspiration that's coming forward out of this experience you're having. I don't think you're rejecting somebody. We have this notion in the twin flame community of runners. I reject that in total. I really do. I think it's disrespectful to label somebody's experience that negatively when they go through this kind of experience. So I think there's a lot of that going on. My guides keep talking about it. Respect your partner. Sag, if this is you, you have the right to sit in your place and take a minute to breathe and think about what's happening and wait for the clarity and the understanding about the intensity, the hand of the universe literally coming through to you to bring forward an amount of passion about being a spirit being, sitting there on the earth, wishing for love, and then this happens. Spirit says it's the worst thing that could happen because it'll prod you and poke you wide open, and your soulmate is the person that's bringing this to you, because that's what we're talking about. So honor this person. Give them your love without, kind of like the cards were saying, to be able to love freely without strings attached. So I think that's part of this. It's learning to love in a very, very new way, especially if you're in a twin flame or heart chakra awakened partnership. You're going to feel love that you don't understand the nature of yet. It will come to you. Don't worry, it's coming. But you're going on a journey with this very mystical person. So my guides keep saying this could be going either way. It could be you, Sag, or it could be your soulmate. But, the mystical shaman, my guides are asking me to pause. I want to show this to you. Do you see? There's the notion of raven in this card as well. It's truly an intense reading. And then we see the mystical shaman, right, smoking the pipe. And do you see what's happening in this card? The exhalation creates a new life. So it's about things from the deep past, I believe. And the next card out is this. Eight of Pentacles, dedicating and working really hard. All right, here's what the card just flipped out. Working really hard because of the intensity of the passion that you feel when you discover yourself to actually be a sacred soul initiate, my guides are saying. So there's going to be some work that's going to have to come forward. You're going through a cycle very clearly. The inspiration comes, and when it comes, it activates you, and you begin to work very intently as an initiate of the energy in order to master that which you would like to receive that's coming at you. And it's coming from within you. And you're being enveloped from the universe, I think. Let me pull this back a little bit more. There we go. All right. So I put the deck down. Look what's on the bottom. And you know what, Sag, I'm taking it because you've got so much going on. So we're coming into the new moon in Aries, a fellow fire sign. We're going to go through to the full moon in Libra, bringing balance. It's going to be an intense month, but you're going to get there, Sag. And look, there's the last card. King of Wands. Ooh, you are developing rapidly because of the intense energy that's coming through to you. It is going to be intense. You have the right, and my guides are saying the responsibility to perform this so that you can come to the balance that's meant to come to you through this moon cycle. We've got, you have, as you all know, Jupiter traveling with you. Soon, Jupiter is going to go retrograde. There are things, please go to the internet. Go look at, watch Molly McCord's astrology for April. She just did a really fabulous reading that describes all these things so that you can understand the fullness of the message. It's very important, my guides are saying, that you go and look at your soul cycle reading posted on my channel about what's going on for you in the month of April. Whether you're the Sag in this picture or whether you're the soulmate, you are engaged in something together. And it's important to know about your own cycle. That's what this is about. You know, there's some fear comes to you, but it's because you're ripe. You're ready. You're going to take some time, as you should, ponder the inspiration that comes through to you in these moments, right? This is a prophecy. All the aces in my Soul Tarot decks are prophecy cards. So this is something that's been prophesied for eons, my guides are saying, through the oracle cards. So it's time for this new world to come forward. Of course, it brings a death and transformation process. That's what you're looking into. That's what you're working on. That's what your soulmate is working on with you, for you. My guides are saying, as a result of standing into each other's vision, this is going to happen on both sides of the equation, and you are going to reach your goal. You will rise to the level of the King of Wands. And I love that this row is all male energy coming forward in this way. Actually, you know what? The whole reading is involved in love energy, male energy, except we see feminine form in the world card. It's fascinating. And so my guides are talking about the lunar cycle again. So the moon cycle is definitely going to affect you. The movement of Saturn and Pluto. And then we have Venus and Pisces actually right now conjuncting in a very supreme way. Okay, so thank you, Spirit. So my guides are saying that's what's bringing forward the magic for those of you that are having the experience. Transformation of the male. And my guides are saying the male psyche, because of this experience, whether you're a man or a woman or you are gender fluid, it's the energy that we're talking about. All right, Spirit, please give us a message from the beautiful oracle of the runes. Spirit saying, from the sacred Norse shamanistic tradition. What does beautiful Sag need to know about the intensity of this? The other thing that's coming through, I'm just going to pause for a second, is that this really might be about you and you. There's so much chatter. Sometimes the chatter comes through and it's like a fire hose. I just posted a dream. I did a reading. I had a really intense dream about my own transmutation. It's on the channel. I think it's called Snakes and Squirrels. It's in the Daily Love Spirit saying the tradition. So I've been doing readings daily about love energy forecast. So I stuck it there in case it helps anybody else. And I see now that many of us are going through this process. And it was related to this, but it was a dream that I had about having a snake in my hair while I was walking around, terrified of being bitten. Interesting story. Spirit says it's much like that. So this might be about you and you. I'm very curious to hear. Please put some messages on the comment section and let me know what you're experiencing. This is really, truly phenomenal. Take very good care of yourself. Make make sure to focus on whatever sacred practice you have so that you can receive what the universe is intending to give to you. And the ability to master the passion that comes with it, the intensity of the emotion and the experience. I see that you are doing, the Spirit's saying you're going to do the appropriate actions. You're going to take your rest. You're going to be willing to receive the information that's coming. You're going to work really hard because you know you are in a sacred transformational cycle. Beautiful. Okay, Spirit, please give us something from the runes. Haha, perfect. Thank you, Spirit. It confirms, this is confirming what I've been chattering on about. Okay, they want me to get one more. Hang on. Okay, this is the rune for stand still. And that's why my guides were saying, you know, this is a net positive. It is what is meant to happen. That is the rune for joy. And we're going to put it right on the end of the cycle with the King of Wands. Beautiful. Okay, there's my little book. So the rune for stand still is Isa. And it is about, it is aligned with the energy of ice. It's really fascinating. Wait till you hear this. Ooh-wee, Sag. You know what? I'm personally happy to have company on this venture. All right, standstill, withdrawal, and ice. The winter of spiritual life is upon you. You may find yourself entangled in a situation to whose implications you are, in effect, blind. So, you know, you might not get it at first. That's totally okay. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to your beautiful mystical partner. You may feel powerless to do anything except submit and surrender or sacrifice some long-cherished desire. Be patient, for this is the period of gestation that precedes a rebirth. This is so beautiful. Look. Woo! Positive accomplishment is unlikely in these moments. There is a freeze on useful activity. All your plans are on hold. You may be experiencing an unaccustomed drain on your energy and wonder why. A chill wind is reaching you over the ice flows of your old, outmoded habits. And that's why you just kind of get overcome by the moment. I think, you know, your number's up. Spirit's saying, you know, you fall off the tree. And isn't it fabulous that he's sitting under a tree? Sitting there thinking to himself, my God, what the hell is happening? I love it. Thank you, Spirit. Trying to hold on to these outmoded habits, thoughts, beliefs, and Spirit saying actions can result in the shallowness of your feeling and a sense of being out of touch with life. Seek instead to discover what it is you are holding on to that perpetuates this condition you are in and let it go. Shed, release, cleanse away the old. Doing so will bring on the thaw. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because we see the element of water, ice, things being stalled, things being frozen. And then when you come into your awareness, things really heat up in a pretty intense way, and that changes your world. I'm in love with this reading. Usually, Isa requires a sacrifice of the personal I. At such a time, you cannot hope to rely on help or friendly support, and yet there is no reason for anxiety. Submit and be still, for what you are experiencing is not necessarily the result of your actions or habits, but rather may arise from conditions about which you can do nothing. Because it's just time, my guides are saying. What has been full must be empty, and what has increased must decrease. This is the way of heaven and earth. To surrender is to display courage and wisdom. There is another phase to stand still. Just as winter is a time for going within, drawing Isa can announce a time of restoration and renewal at the deepest level. In your solitude, exercise caution. Do not stubbornly persist in attempting to work your will. Remain mindful that the seed of the new is present in the shell of the old. It is the seed of unrealized potential. It is the seed of the good. So trust your process and watch for signs of spring. Ooh, gosh, I'm getting choked up, you guys. Those of you who know me know sometimes I just cry. Because the information comes into me energetically often through my heart chakra, and then it stimulates my human response. So do not push your soulmate, Sag, if you're having this effect on them. If it is they that are having this effect on you, understand that you have the right to take time and to sit still. I think it's important to acknowledge what is happening, and it's perfectly fine to say, you know what, I have to process this because I just, it's, wow. Spirit saying like that, like there's no words. And it's important to honor each other in your own process. Do not push each other. Do not demand from each other, because what is meant to happen will unfold in time, like the rune is saying. So as you move through the process and you come to this position, this placement of joy, with all this passion, with understanding what has happened, the rune is Awaz. No, I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong page. See what I mean? Mercury retrograde. It's supposedly it's going to get better when we get past the 8th. And I'm counting the minutes, believe me. Gee whiz. All right. Okay, this is Wonjo. It is about joy. It is about light. This rune is a fruit-bearing branch. Don't you love it? This is how your fruit falls off the branch, and this is the process. Amazing. The term of difficulty has ended, and you have come to yourself in some regard. The shift that was due has occurred, and now you can freely receive Wonjo's blessings, whether they be in material gain, in your emotional life, or in a heightened sense of your own well-being. This is an alchemical moment in which understanding is transmuted from knowledge. That's where they were talking about my snake dream. The knowledge itself was a necessary but not sufficient condition. Now you can rejoice, having been carried across the gap by the will of heaven. Oh, I'm so choked up I can hardly speak. Joyousness accompanies new energy, energy that was blocked before now. Light pierces the clouds and touches the waters. You see exactly what my guides were saying? Thank you, Spirit. As the light pierces the clouds, just as something lovely begins to emerge at the meeting place of heaven and earth, the meeting of the waters. And Spirit's telling me to point to that card as well, because he's looking out into the future over the water, watching what's coming at him and feeling his desire to take action. There is a new clarity which may call for you to renounce your existing plans, ambitions, and goals. It is proper and timely for you to do so, for Wonjo is a rune of restoration of the self, properly aligned with the self. So my guys just wanted me to wrap up by saying a few words about the notion of, all your plans are on hold and things aren't going forward. You don't have any help. This is because you are in this deep transformational process. It doesn't mean that everything's going to suddenly turn negative and terrible things are going to happen. It is talking about your spiritual development. And truly, when you go through this kind of transmutation and meet your destiny, my guides are saying, everything stands still inside of you. And you may have the sense of that. You may feel as though you are literally walking in the void. And I think for some of you, you definitely are. So my guys sort of keep pushing me. I'm here. If you need a reading, if you want clarity, if you need some support, please go and get it in whatever means speaks to you like Raven is doing, like the Mystical Shaman is doing, you will know what it is you need. It's important that you get support and that you be deeply with yourself while you are going through this transformational process with a sacred soulmate. Spirit saying, whichever side of the equation you're on, it's a message for Spirit saying for all of you. So, gang, thank you so much. I'm very pleased to see this coming out. It is your year of great destiny. And as Jupiter turns inward, my guides are saying, begins to go retrograde, this is part of the effect. It was your destiny this year. It's the effects of Jupiter. It's the effects of Pluto and Capricorn, shredding form, and the Great Awakener in Taurus. It is about what's happening here on the earth, and we're here, aren't we? So I'm wishing you love and blessings. Right? Ice. Stand still. Enjoy. Really beautiful the way the King of Wands looks directly into the death and rebirth cycle, and Spirit saying all the way across to the world that's being created. So thank you again. I appreciate all your likes and all the love and support that's been coming to me from this channel through all the folks who are showing up here. Have a wonderful month. I'm going to look forward so much to being with you in May. Thanks, everyone.